Welcome back to online classes. Dear students, today I am going to discuss with Indian Penal Code. Okay. Under chapter Defamation. Defamation means offences affecting reputation. So as per the defamation, I just wanted to give introduction part. Okay. What is defamation and all? Here most of the people's carrying his own life and then his reputation, his or her reputations. Okay, so next to life man cares most for his reputation. Sometimes we find an individual giving its the foremost place, preferring death rather than living a life of ignominy and disgrace. We have heard of the stories and even historical narratives of our ancient warriors and Rajput ladies having committed suicide rather than falling into the hands of their enemies and being compelled to live in shame and disgrace at the cost of their reputation. Okay, it is in fact a great internal force in the mind of every man, impelling him to do things. Love of reputation inspires individuals to do great things and even face risk also. On a careful analysis of the human mind, you will find this element of longing for name and reputation as the basic motive of all actions. Okay, here many authors, poets, artists, scientists and all others who are engaged in certain activities have in the innermost recesses of their hearts a longing to earn a name in their respective fields of activities. Okay, even thieves, robbers and murderers will have in their mind an instinctive desire to gain the approval of their criminal friends. For all psychologists unanimously testify to this basic fact that man cares more of the approval of his fellow beings around him and amongst whom he is moving. If you remove this instinct in man, he is being deprived of his main spring in life. Okay, rightly law gives protecting to a man's reputation as it gives protection to his life and property. In the Indian Penal Code itself, we find that as the other sections of the code protect a person's personal rights and property, Section 499 and 500 of IPC protect his personal reputation. Okay, here I just wanted to give definition of reputation, definition of defamation. What is that? Section 499 deals with defamation, definition of defamation. So this section explains about whoever by words, either by spoken or intended to be read, or by signs or by visible representatives, makes or publishes any imputations concerning any persons intending to harm, 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 or knowing or having reason to believe that such imputations will harm the reputation of such person. It said, except in the case hereinafter accepted to define that person. Okay, as per this section, we have 5 explanation in this part. Number 1, explanation number 1. It may amount to defamation to impute anything to a deceased person if the imputation would harm the reputation of that person of if living and is intended to be hurtful to the feelings of his family or other near relatives. That is explanation 1 of this provision of this section. And explanation 2, it may amount to defamation to make an imputation concerning a company or an association or a collection of persons or as such. Explanation 3 of this section, an imputation in the form of alternative or expressed ironically may amount to defamation. Explanation 4, no imputation is said to harm a person's reputation unless that imputation directly or indirectly in the estimation of others lowers the moral or intellectual character of that person or lowers the character of that person in respect of his caste or of his calling or lowers the credit of that person or causes it to be believed that the body of that person is in a loathsome state or in a state generally considered as disgraceful. Okay, and also I just wanted to discuss with illustration of this portion. Okay, then it is easy to understand. Okay, here A is a person, Z is a person and B is a person. Okay, note down this here, this illustration. A is a person, Z is a person and B is also a person. Now A says Z is an honest man. Okay, A says Z is a honest man. He never stole B's watch. He never stole B's watch, intending to cause it to be believed that Z did steal B's watch. This is defamation unless it fails within one of the exception. Okay, one of the exemption. We already discussed exception now. And number 2, illustration. A is asked. Okay, number 2 illustration. A is asked who stole B's watch. A points to Z, intending to cause it to be believed that Z stole B's watch. This is also defamation unless it falls within one of the exception. The third illustration. A draws a pictures of Z running away with B's watch. A draws a picture of Z running away with B's watch, intending it to be believed that Z stole B's watch. This is defamation unless it falls within one of the exceptions. Okay, understand? Okay students, what is the exception of this act? What is the exception of this sections? I'll give you 3 exception is available. Exception to offense defamation. The first exception is it is not defamation to impute anything which is true concerning any person. Okay, it is not defamation to impute anything which is true, anything which is true concerning any person, if it be for the public good. This is a main good. Okay, for the public good, that the imputation should be made or published, whether or not it is for the public goods is a question of fact. Now it is considered as first exception. And second exception, as per the IPC, It is not a defamation to express in good faith any opinion whatever respecting the conduct of a public servant in the discharge of his public functions or respecting the character so far as his character appears in that conduct and no further. No further. Okay. And third exceptions, it is not a defamation to express in good faith any opinion whatever respecting the conduct of any person touching any public question and respecting his character so far as his character appears in that conduct and no further. Now it's clear, these three exceptions as per the defamation. Okay students, and also we'll discuss with another illustration of the same portion. Okay, we have 5 exception. Okay, we'll see another 4th and 5th also, not 5, 7, I think 10 exception is available. Okay, 10 exception is available as per the IPC. First I will discuss with illustration, then we'll go to another exception. Okay, illustration. It is not a defamation in A is a person. Okay, it is not defamation in A to express in good faith any opinion whatever expecting Z conduct, whatever expecting Z's conduct in petitioning government on a public question, in signing a requisition for a meeting on a public question, in presiding or attending at such meeting, informing or joining any society which invites the public support, in voting or canvassing for a particular candidate for any situation, in the efficient discharge of the duties of which the public is interested. Okay, now it's clear this illustration. Okay, we'll go to 4th exception. What is that 4th exception in this IPC? 4th exception explain about, it is not defamation to public a substantially true report of the proceedings of a court of justice. Okay, it is not a defamation to publish a substantially true report. Substantially true report, true, that is good, true report of the proceedings of a court of justice or the result of any such proceedings. That also exception category. 5th exemption, it is not defamation to express in good faith any opinion whatever respecting the merits of any case, civil or criminal, which has been decided by court of justice, or respecting the conduct of any person as a party, witness or agent in any such case, or respecting the character of such a person as far as his character appears in that conduct and no further. Okay, based on this exception I will give you illustrations. But if A says, okay, but if A says, I do not believe what is that asserted that trial because I know him to be a man without veracity, A is not within the exceptions in as much as the opinion which expressed of Z characters is an opinion not found on Z conduct as a witness. Okay, that is illustration. We'll go to 6th exception. What is that? It is not a defamation to express in good faith any opinion respect the merits of any performance which its author has submitted to the judgment of the public. Okay, or respecting the character of the authors so far as his character appears in such performance and no further. Seventh exception of this topic: it is not a defamation in a person having over another any authority, either conferred by law or arising out of a lawful contract made with that other, to pass in good faith any censure on that the conduct of that other in matters to which such lawful authority relates. Okay, based on this exception, I will give you another illustration, then it is easy to understand the above exception also and further exception also. Okay, here a judge censuring in good faith, a judge censuring, 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 a judge censuring in good faith the conduct of a witness before court or of an officer of the court, a head of a department ensuring in good faith those who are under his orders, a parent censuring in good faith a child in presence of other children. Okay, a schoolmaster whose authority is derived from a parent censuring in good faith a pupil in the presence of other pupils, a master censuring a servant in good faith for remissions in services or service, a banker censuring in good faith the cashier of his bank for the conduct of such cashier, as such cashier or within this exception. Now it's clear. I gave more examples, more illustrations also. Okay students, we'll go to eighth exception. Eighth exceptions. It is not defamatory or it is not defamation to prefer in good faith an accusation against any person to any of those who have lawful authority over that person with respect to the subject matter of accusation. Okay, and ninth exception: it is not defamation to make an imputation on the character of another, provided that the imputation be made in good faith for the protection of the interest of the person making it or of any other person or for the public good. Now it's clear. And also we'll see illustration. What is that one? Okay, then it is easy to understand. Here A is a person. Okay, a shopkeeper, says to B, who manages his business, sell nothing to Z unless he pays you ready money, for I have no opinion of his honesty. Okay, A is within the exception if he has made this imputation on Z in good faith for the protection of his own interest. And also second illustration, A magistrate. Okay, a magistrate in making a report to his own superior officer cast an imputation on the character of Z. Here, if the imputation is made in good faith and for the public good, A is within the exception, right? Okay, the last exception, that is 10th exceptions. It is not a defamation to convey a caution in good faith to one person against another person, provided that such caution be intended for the good of the person to whom it is conveyed, or of some person in whom that person is interested, or for the public good. Okay, now it's clear all exception category of in this defamation portion. Okay student, I will give you punishment area. Those who are violate, those who are not following as per the defamation law, that particular person, law will be punished. Okay, law will not give lenient to all the peoples. It automatically, if any one of the affected person, those who want to file before the court will punish as per the provision of this section. Okay, the punishment for defamation, what is that punishment here? Section 500. Okay, section 500 of Indian Penal Code explain about whoever defames another shall be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend it to 2 years, or with the fine, or with both. Note down. Okay, where the accused knows that his communication will be read by others or will be known to others in the usual course of business, he will be liable. Okay, thus in the case of one leading case, Sukadev, okay, section 55A to 53, and also where the accused had in his reply to the president of municipality made a defamatory imputation and the president laid the reply before the councillors in the ordinary course of business, the accused was held guilty of publication of defamatory under this section only, because we referred this Sukadev case. Okay, here as per this section only 2 years, okay, punishment. Okay students, we'll go to same topic and another thing of defamation. Okay, we'll go to deeply one by one, then it is easy to understand also. Okay students, now I am closing this session also. We'll meet you again next online classes. Okay, thank you all, bye, see you.